What's going on? What's going on, Patriots, ladies and gentlemen? You locked in the hood politics where we always keep it 100. I'm your host, Jake, and y'all already know on this channel we cut straight to the BS and get straight to the policies and issues that hit us close to home. We should talk about everything from elections to national debates, all the way up to political podcasts. And we start each and every one of them off sending out our thoughts and prayers. So, I want to keep an eye on thoughts and prayers because I got an update coming up on that UPS plane crash. I got an update coming up today, so we're gonna keep them in our thoughts and prayers, their family and friends, man. And also little Carson Lawson, who got ran over on his way to school. That's still such a sad story, man. If y'all didn't see that video, man, y'all gotta go check it out. I think I put it on YouTube, my YouTube channel. As promised, I told y'all we was gonna get into it this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm doing a potty training thing with the 2-year-old, and y'all already know this is my last one, man. No more. This is my last one. You know what I'm saying? But as promised, hey, we got old ratchet Jasmine Crocket up getting caught in a lie, and you gotta give it up for Caitlin Collins, man. Anytime, like I say, hey, I don't rock with these people much, but anytime they hit the nail on the head, you got to give them credit, man. So I'm going to give Caitlin Collins credit for calling out Jasmine Crockett like she's about to. Let's get right into this, man. This is hilarious.
Sits on the House Oversight Committee, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. And thank you for being here because now this clock has started with the president signing this bill behind closed doors tonight. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, was asked earlier today about releasing everything. She repeatedly said, "We will follow the law." Do you expect that you'll get all of these documents by December 18th?
I do not. I absolutely don't expect it, especially when you start to say things like Pam Bondi said she will follow the law, because the only thing that we have seen consistently out of this administration, whether we're talking about the failed prosecution of Comey, and I'm saying failed because that is absolutely what I anticipate is going to happen, we know that they are always doing the opposite of following the law. Every time we look at those court orders that they have ignored, they have literally put us in this constitutional crisis in this country, because for the first time we have another branch of government that seemingly thinks that what other branches have to say, well, you know what, that's advisory. It's not anything that they have to follow. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but I don't expect transparency.
The president said tonight he thinks it's going to end up being really embarrassing for Democrats. Are you worried that it's going to be embarrassing for
I'm not worried at all. I can tell you one thing, I ain't never worried about my name being in the Epstein files. So that's one thing that we can talk about. Number two, for me, it's not partisan. As somebody that worked in the criminal justice system, I understand what it is to sit across from a victim. I understand their stories, I understand the trauma, and I understand the lasting effects. Wrong is wrong, right is right.
Listen, I don't know. Like, to me, honestly, I'm just keeping it real 100 with me. None of this ish. I'm just doing this video on this crap because it's hot right now. But honestly, none of this I could give 2 cents about, man. It's Sunday, so I'm going to try to keep it family friendly. But honestly, I could care less about Jeffrey Epstein or any of this crap, because the more I'm starting to look at it, and then you're looking at the timeline, 70s, early 80s, that wasn't all that uncommon, man. You know what I mean? Back in them days, for a 16 or a 17-year-old to be with a grown man, some mothers pushed their 16 and 17-year-old daughters, their 16 and 17-year-old daughters, to people, you know what I mean, to grown men. So that, and the way these these victims is acting, it's all seeming to start becoming a bunch of BS to me. You know what I mean? But this is what everybody talking about. This is the news, so we doing it.
And I think that that is what we are missing in this administration. It seems like he consistently wants to give a pass so long as someone is a follower of his. That's what we saw with the January 6ers, that he decided that he was going to pardon. And then even after they got in trouble again, he decided to pardon them again. He seemingly only wants to go after people that he looks at as if they are.
Wait. When did the January 6ers get in trouble again after they've been pardoned and got pardoned again? Damn, so you telling me in 9 months, in the few months they got out, they got in trouble, charged, convicted, and sentenced again, where they had to be pardoned again? If anybody knows something about that, let me know. I'm going to look into it because I think that's false.
Position. We in this country, what justice looks like is going after whoever is wrong, no matter their race, no matter their political affiliation, and no matter how much money they do or don't have in the bank account.
So you're saying, yeah, you don't care even if it does embarrass Democrats.
I don't care. That's not what this is about. To me, it's not political. We need to make sure that we understand how it was that this was able to take place, and we need to make sure that we tear down those structures. We have an obligation as legislators to make sure that we do better by the people in this country. We need to make sure that there are no other children that end up in similar circumstances, whether Jeffrey Epstein is alive or dead. We need to make sure, because it wasn't just one man. This was a system, a sophisticated system that was set up. And so we need to make sure that there are no other victims going forward.
One.
Boy, I don't want to say nothing to get this video took down, but we ain't going to even talk about the children that came over that border with the Biden administration and where they ended up. That's all I'm going to say. We ain't going to even talk about them, huh? But you going to talk about something that happened. Like this is, I'm not going to even lie. This story is blowing my mind more than the Israel and America crap. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm going to speak on that too, because I don't know, some evil is going on amongst Tucker, Candace, and MTG. Something evil is going on, because I looked up the definition of Zionists, and Christians are supposed to be Zionists, so I don't understand why they shooting this Zionist word around like it's supposed to be an insult and they calling themselves Christians. But that's another video. We're gonna keep going.
Democrat who's been on defense over Jeffrey Epstein is Stacey Plaskett. She represents the Virgin Islands. She was texting with Jeffrey Epstein the day of Michael Cohen's hearing. Her questions pretty closely followed the text messages between the two of them to ask about Rona Graff, Trump's longtime assistant. You were defending her today, or in recent days, yesterday, and you talked about Republicans taking money from a Jeffrey Epstein. Here's what you said.
Look at that evil look she just got. Did y'all see that evil look she just had?
Money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio.
You mentioned Lee Zeldin there. He's now a cabinet secretary. He responded and said it was actually Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who's a doctor, doesn't have any relation to the convicted sex trafficker. Unfortunate for that doctor, but that is who donated to a prior campaign of his. Do you want to correct the record on the people?
Listen, I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans.
First of all, how did they spring this on you in real time? Y'all been begging for these documents. Y'all been begging for these lists. Y'all been begging for these files. Now this stuff is dropping, and now you ain't ready for it because it's bam. Just like Trump said. See, don't nobody listen to my president. When my president tell y'all something, don't nobody listen. They think this man is crazy in real life. When he said it's going to be embarrassing for the Democrats, y'all should have listened. Because now it's very embarrassing. Like this is beyond embarrassing. You got your own people, the TYT, the Young Turks, and I'm gonna see if I can get that pulled up on this video too, man. So we ain't gonna make this too much more longer because she just finna catch her up real quick. But yeah, you beg for this, and now you want to turn around and lie to your constituents and mislead your constituents and sit up here and say, I didn't say it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Then why in the hell did you say it? then why in the world did you say it? Why did you bring it up if you didn't know, if it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein? Because you know your base depend on low information voters. That's why they want the voting age to be lowered to 16.
To think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled, and that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein. Unlike Republicans, I at least don't go out and just tell lies. Because it was not the same one, that's fine. But when Lee Zeldin had something to say, all he had to say was it was a different Jeffrey Epstein. He admitted that he did receive donations from a Jeffrey Epstein, so at least I wasn't trying to mislead people. Now,
how were you not trying to mislead people? If you wasn't trying to mislead people, Ms. Crockett, you would have never even brought that up unless you knew for a fact that it was the Jeffrey Epstein. You threw that out there because you knew it was going to go viral, and you knew good and well once your people start sending it around, everybody was going to be like, oh, everybody took money from Jeffrey Epstein. What is really going on? No, it was just your crooked ass party. And the emails and everything that came out that they putting out showed that Jeffrey Epstein, for one, hated Donald Trump, two, thought he was dangerous, and three, we all know that Trump threw him out because he was a pervert. So,
have I dug in to find out who this doctor is? I have not. So I will trust and take what he says is that it wasn't that Jeffrey Epstein, but I was not attempting to mislead anybody.
Yes,
I
you
literally
were.
had maybe 20 minutes before I had to do that debate.
Yeah, but people might see that and say, well, you're trying to make it sound like he took money from
I did not know.
a registered sex offender.
No, but I literally did not
So
know.
why would you say something?
Search
See,
FEC files.
see, it's so easy. Like my man Greg Foreman say, BCP, Black Conservative Perspective. It's easy to be a Democrat, man. All you gotta do is just say whatever your constituents want to hear. No matter if it's the truth, no matter if it's factual, no matter if it's any of that, man. Like this chick is.
What I had my team to do, I texted them and I said, listen, we're going up. They are saying that she took donations.
Right, but someone might say, well, your team should have done the homework to make sure it wasn't the convicted sex trafficker.
Within 20 minutes, you could not find that out, not from just doing a quick search
Yes,
on
you
FEC.
can.
So, number one, I made sure that I was clear that it was a Jeffrey Epstein, but I never said that it was specifically that Jeffrey Epstein because I knew that we would need more time to really dig in.
Well, Stacey Plaskett was texting the Jeffrey Epstein that we're all
Correct.
talking about. You voted against the censure for her to remove her from her committees. You know, we pressed the minority leader Hakeem Jeffries on this last night. Maybe you don't think she should be removed from her committees,
Correct.
but why do so many Democrats seem unwilling to say it's inappropriate to be texting with a registered sex offender about what you're going to ask a witness at a congressional hearing?
So I'm not going to necessarily say that that's the case. Now, this is somebody that was a former prosecutor. Now, I haven't sat down and talked about all the specifics of why Stacey was doing what she was doing. I know that when she got up and she spoke, she talked about the fact that this is one of her constituents. At the end of the day, what I know of prosecutors is that they are typically talking to co-defendants. They are typically talking to the people that have the best information. And what you had was you had the former attorney for the president that was sitting there. And honestly, we knew, or she knew, or at least Jeffrey Epstein presented that he was very cozy with the president. He had more information, registered sex offender or not. The bigger question is, why is it that the president was so cozy with a registered sex offender even after he ultimately ended?
You see what I'm saying? They can't look at it. It's already been debunked. It's already been debunked by that girl they named, by Trump himself, and by the emails. And she's still running with it. She's still running. Why was Trump so cozy with Epstein? He was cozy with Epstein until he found out Epstein was a pervert, and that's probably why Epstein thinks he's dangerous, because he couldn't get nothing on Trump. Miss Crockett. And if Trump and Epstein was so cozy and this and that and all this and that and just so much stuff Trump got to do with Epstein, why didn't your party put any of this out the whole 4 years?
Up with some of his convictions, and seemingly he had absolutely been on the plane with him. We know about the birthday card. The bigger question is, why is the president of the United States not the one that is in the hot seat for his relationship instead of us saying, oh, you know what, we're going to take her off of her committee because he decided to text her. Stacey didn't initiate that chain. Jeffrey initiated that chain, and she took the information. Just like if somebody texts me.
Yeah, but she was responding and saying, you know, what do you
exactly.
Quick,
Thank you.
Next. And then her questions were about Rona. But do you think that was inappropriate? I mean, would you text with someone who is a registered sex offender about what you should ask?
I honestly know that he had never been convicted of any federal crimes at that time.
But he had been in jail already.
He had been
got
in
a
jail.
plea deal.
And my deal is this. The Republicans are constantly texting with a 34-count convicted felon. So if it's okay for them to text him at any point in time, then I'm not going to say that that's right or wrong, especially to the extent that you're talking about kicking someone off their committee. Were they sexting? Was it a matter of her being involved in the pedophilia? No, it was not.
What committee is she on, though? Was what she did, was anything she did with Jeffrey Epstein, first of all, appropriate? And second of all, was it intelligent? And the answer to that is no and no. And what committee is she on? The Intelligence Committee. So if you're not intelligent enough to not be accepting donations and texting a sex offender, a registered sex offender, which she finna lie and say, she didn't even know that at the time, or no, yes, she did. This happened in 2019, this texting. Dude been a registered sex offender since March of 2018, or at least that's when the story broke in 2018. So there we go on that one.
Nothing like that. She was trying to understand. Let's say Jeffrey Epstein said, you know what, I have these pictures, these salacious pictures, because I know that the president got down and did these things. Do you think that it would be inappropriate for her to ask about those things if he said he had personal knowledge?
I think the context matters, but obviously it seemed like he was helping her. But I do want to ask you before you go tonight, because in your home state, we've talked about redistricting there. Yeah. The federal judge saying that they have to use that 2021 map yesterday. I mean, this is what truly launched a redistricting arms race, basically, in this nation. I wonder when you look at that.
You know what? We ain't even gonna go about that right now. That's going around. That's going through the court system, which I don't understand how all Democrat states they get the redistrict all nice and fine, but we got to go through hell and high water. It is what it is. But this chick is something else, man. Look how she looking right now. She mad that Caitlyn brought this stuff up. Yo, she's salty, and I bet you Caitlyn heard it. I bet you she heard it after that interview. If not face to face directly, I guarantee she heard that Jasmine Crocket was not happy with that interview and being pressed like that. They can't stand it because the truth is violence to them. She looked like she ready to fight right now. Look how she looking like, oh, smack this. Don't ask me that right on live TV. You know what I mean? That's probably what she thinking. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know what we're going to do, Patriots. I don't know what we're going to do. These people will lie to your face and just act like it's nothing. You see, I'm not a liar. I lie sometimes, but I'm not a liar. You know what I mean? So I really don't know how I feel, how she feeling right now, to be busted in a nasty little lie like that. She do not look happy. So on that note, this is your boy Jay from Blood Politics checking in, and I'm checking out, y'all. Y'all know how we do it, man. Till next time. Hey, like, subscribe to my channel. I always forget to say this. Like, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so y'all know when I drop some new videos. Check out my TikTok, Hood Politics 3.0. Get over there. Follow me over there. This your boy Jay. Checking in. And now I'm checking out, y'all.